And welcome back to the final round of today's Modern 2K. We have Brendan Dunn on Naya versus JP Phippen.
Brendan is the only unbeaten player at the tournament today. JP having pitched late and getting a round
Round one
loss.
loss, sure.
So, yes. Um, it's really not favored for JP.
I mean,
Game
like,
one at least.
Brendan is unbeaten for a reason today. He picked a deck that was going to beat the meta. Like, Burn against the majority of decks we've seen on camera would have straight up rolled them.
Pretty much. JP doing a pile shuffle. Brendan, of course, having been early to the table, so he's pretty much ready. Yeah, and there's not much to say. It's like, is there any out for JP game one, or is he just kind
Game
of
one, okay, so his only out is super early combo. And then basically hope Brendan doesn't have enough burn to kill him.
also probably don't have the Eidolon out?
Yeah, Eidolon's just gonna make life a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Early combo can mitigate the game a lot because you're gaining one life every time and getting chump blockers for all the guys for each mana you have basically.
Yeah, basically every mana you have saves your life for another
Also,
turn.
the other thing with burn is if you mull, you generally lose card quality each time you mull most of the time because it's not a
Yeah.
deck that mulls very well. So
Yeah,
Brendan could just mull himself into oblivion and then JP walks over him game one. Then game two sides into a plan where he can deal with it.
slowly but surely. Yeah, like the burn decks like this is basically you need 7 cards to deal 20 damage by turn 4 or turn 5.
Yep. And the other thing is if because this is the Wild Nacatl burn basically, if he goes Wild Nacatl turn one, this is one of the few matches where it's super relevant.
To
Just get it
the
down.
early
His
beats.
opponent's not playing Bolt, his opponent's only playing Path to Exile, of which he's not playing a larger number
Yeah.
of Path to Exiles. And if he paths you get to double
And
spell.
that's exactly what he's doing. Let's switch
So-
over to the feature. Brendan just went down to 17 turn 1, get the Nacatl down. And JP can start his game. He has.
Well, we'll switch the hand cam so you can see.
Let's see, he has
He has half of the combo
half the
in
combo.
hand.
That Nacatl getting one bigger this turn, most definitely. There's also um, Goblin Guard in hand. He's probably going for that.
So Brendan going down to 14. Playing Goblin Guide and going to swing JP down to 15.
No, well, he also has Swift Spear, so 14 even.
Sure. One of the more aggressive starts on the play.
And there's Guide.
Swift Spear.
Swift
Sure.
Spear.
Swinging for 6.
Attack
Attack
for
totals are
6.
equal. Flips a Flooded Stand.
Best day. Draws an island. It's
Man.
probably very good then.
We'll switch to JP's hand. See if he has anything that matters. I mean, at this point, his opponent is sitting with Lightning Bolt, Lava Spike, and Grim Lavamancer.
So he basically wins this turn.
Yeah, if JP doesn't answer anything, so if JP commits Foundry, he dies. On the spot dead. Take 14. Scary stuff. Turn 3 dead. No, like one Sackland was played for 1 point of damage.
Which actually then puts him down to 13. Even worse.
Well, okay, he played it now, so.
And he commits, and it's game over.
And we'll go to game 2. So much for commentary. Who needs us anyway? Lava Spike. Okay. Damn. And wait, the slow roll. That is the best part.
The best part is he's going into the tank for this.
It's like, okay,
He's just calculating, making sure that he does have the 14.
hit you for 6.
Hit. 14 damage. Go to game 2.
Okay, cool.
Great. Okay, so we can talk about the sideboard plan for JP some more.
Well, I just find it quite funny that we didn't even need to switch from our storeroom immediately. Like we switched for like what, a minute, 2 minutes?
if even. Let's see. Timely reinforcements probably too
Yes.
slow, but
No.
he needs to take it.
Needs it. Blessed
Definitely, Blazed
Alliance
Alliance comes in.
needs it. Engineered explosives on one needs
Definitely
it.
comes in. Dispel,
Probably not.
negate. No, probably not.
Okay, so the spell you can bring in. The problem is when your opponent's going Lava Spike creature or creature into Drift Bolt, and it's all sorcery speed.
Then
Then
yeah,
like negate is probably fine to bring in. I mean, all of these are probably better than cards like Talisman of Dominance, Progress. Basically, if JP wants to cut
everything.
most of his top end, and I say most because if he cuts
Eh,
everything, he can't win. Although, like Thopter Sword as a combo will be okay, but you have to assume your
He,
opponent's bringing Destructive Revelry.
which we'll check in a second. What does he have?
So,
He does. Okay, he's running three revelries. Four path to exile, which he'll probably not bring in. Skullcrack probably not.
so for me, it's
Although he did
he
see the
probably
life,
wants to bring in Skullcrack to mitigate life gain.
probably.
Probably wants to bring in Destructive Revelry. I don't think you need Grafdigger's Cage that much
I
in the
don't think you
matchup.
need anything else. He probably should just keep it low to the
Yeah,
ground.
I mean he's on the draw, and mostly on the draw I dislike Goblin Guy, but in this match your opponent's a blue deck. Goblin Guy is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
When you look at his spells that you don't care about Searing Blaze.
You probably take out the Grim Lava one, so you really don't need it
Yeah, you
here.
probably take out Lava Monster. If your opponent's a highly interactive deck, it's nice to have Lava Monster in,
Yeah.
but that's like limited to
Let's
cards decks
see.
like
What did he take?
Grixis. And we'll maybe switch to the hand cams to see if they're doing what we predicted.
Well, it's probably too late to see now.
Well, I see a Destructive Revelry on Brendan's side at
Yes.
least.
Um.
And JP just looking at. Well, I see him siding out Elish Noor and Elspeth.
Yeah, because this is way too slow.
Um, and I do believe I saw Negate come in on JP's side.
He's looking to cut his combo.
I mean, if you think your opponent's going to bring in Destructive Revelry, that's fine.
That's probably then okay. I mean,
In which case, then you go just top end. The problem is JP's list compared to a lot of other lists that are blue mainly. Like you'll have more spell snares in other decks, so you can deal with burn a bit better. Like cutting Path to Exile
is bad.
probably not the best considering his deck doesn't play a lot of fatal pushes. He did cut gifts, which is probably expected. Not sure if he has much else that will help him. Explosives is a good card to bring in on one against this deck. Um,
Yes, it just clears out everything you've done until turn two. Well, you have to have a turn two, otherwise you'd still die turn three,
yep. And
as
the
we've
thing is,
seen.
like, Brendan could. So there could be a sequence where, because JP's on the play of this game, he goes turn 1, Serum Vision, set up a hand. Turn 2, play combo. Brendan goes 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop, and JP goes turn 3, kill all your 1 drops.
Pretty much, and then from there he just slow rolls him.
Yep.
Really,
Just proceed, try and combo. Academy Ruins is also insurance against destructive revelries, like keeping the combo in.
yeah.
It's a slow combo, but you kind of have nothing else. Trying to go bigger is fine, but if you're cutting gifts ungiven, it's harder to get Elishanon into your graveyard in order to unwrite it.
Yes, and that's well one of the outs really, if you can get to turn four.
I mean, there are times where your opponent's just gonna mull themselves into oblivion. Unfortunately, like he played against basically the perfect hand
He did.
for Nakatal Burn, where you go 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop,
Dead.
triple burn spells, basically with 1 mana cost. So can't really beat that. Doesn't like a handful of decks can maybe beat it, but not really game one when your opponent's on play. Like,
Yeah.
and unfortunately for JP, I don't think he was expecting this match. That's why we see a sideboard that isn't really
helping him at all.
helping him much. I mean, timely reinforcements the only real card that's super good in this matchup, and even then, it's sometimes just too slow.
Okay, players are presenting. I mean, they have all the time in the world. They literally could just go for a walk now,
Yeah.
come back, do this all again.
Although that would be awful to commentate unless we take like a vidcam with us, turn it into a VOD maybe.
Ugh, why do you use these millennial?
It's not my millennium. It's like really whatever. And I see double Nakatel in Brennan's hand.
One lander though.
Two lander. He
Two
has a sack
lander.
land.
Okay, no, that's quite reasonable. He basically has the fix. Ah, he probably has another turn 3. Goes down to 18.
This is gonna be terrible for JP.
JP's hand
Serum Vision.
is bad. There's nothing
He
fun
probably
about
gave
this.
up about on. Oh, he's bottoming timely reinforcements.
Probably doesn't have the time. Or his hand is better. No, I don't think so.
And he plays Academy Runes. I don't think he's doing anything this game. Oh, he has a timely reinforcements in hand.
Okay.
But even then, because his opponent has a bunch of creatures bigger than 1/1, and here we're seeing Brennan go down to 15. JP's probably going to go down to. So I think it's a Goblin Guide in a Wild Nakato. Okay, it's not a Goblin Guide then.
It's not a guide. He's just hitting him for 3. And playing the other Nakatl, sure.
Hold. He left Grim Lava Mancer
yeah,
in.
Lava Mancer's still there. I guess going to face helps, but I think it's really
He
too
probably
slow.
sided out Goblin Guide because it's on the draw and he doesn't want to give his opponent additional lands.
Sure.
And here we see timely reinforcements.
Make 2 dudes
and not gain him 6 life.
and no life.
Unfortunately, like JP, not. I feel he could have been more
Waited.
aggressive with his. Like he could have Serum Visions turn 1, shock himself, knowing he has timely reinforcements in hand.
To reset, yes.
So, Brendan has a Tarkus command here, and he's just gonna swing in. If JP triple blocks, he will literally lose all of his creatures. Take 7.
7. Yeah. Not a great day, especially
And
since
just jumping.
Jumping, sure. Brendan not really caring for it, putting out a Lava Monster for later.
Not like yeah, engineered explosives would be amazing. Let's have a look at JP's hand if he do anything amazing.
No.
Ghost Quarter.
Ghost Quarter does not matter. Plays
Sword.
And passes the turn. Okay. Brendan sacking end of turn.
He's probably going to fetch a Sacred Foundry.
Is he? No, like yeah, I guess he's going for it.
Or a Stomping Ground if he wants to play Tarkus command this turn.
Trying to make sure that whatever he's doing next is not a big deal. But he does want the sack in the yard so he
actually
can
like
do the 2
he
damage.
He could have a Destructive Revelry as well. I'm not sure what the card he moved to the back
yes, he
is.
does.
So there's no point revelrying.
Yeah, he does have the Revelry in hand.
He's gonna Lightning Bolt JP, I believe. Or the blocker.
Oh, he's bolting the blocker end of turn. Oh, maybe not.
I mean, he has to assume his opponent has like a negate or something. So he's gonna bolt the blocker.
Force it.
And then we see the counter spell.
Everything happening, cracking, only losing the 1. I think it's fine though. I mean, that was perfectly.
Yep. Although, like, this Lava Mancer at this point, I assume he thought JP's not going to be playing board wipes. And he was correct in that, because JP, I don't think he brought in engineered explosives. I believe we saw it being left behind in his sideboard. So this Lava Mancer is going to be an additional 2 points of damage every turn.
Well, I think the first turn it goes and just clears out the blocker so he can
get in extra points of damage.
Get in the extra point later.
And that's
Lava Spike is always
so
nice
Brendan
to
just
see.
top deck Lava Spike as a Tarkus command in hand. He's gonna kill the blocker there.
2 exile. Does not matter what it is. He's not
And now
bringing
he's gonna
anything back.
swing for 11 if
6.
he attacks commands.
He does not.
Decides not to, respecting the combo.
And there it is. The combo happens. Eats the other one. There's a dispel in hand. He's probably does not care.
So the thing here is JP's going down to 8. And
Why would he do that?
I think he tapped incorrectly. I'm not 100% sure if Thop the Foundry requires double colorless. I mean double colored mana.
Yes, it does. He
Okay,
does
sure.
not.
So his mana was just terrible here. And what? JP's gone down to 2. Lavamancer is going to kill him. And this is game. So, what do you do? Serum Visions.
Find an answer.
At this point, like, his opponent is slow rolling it.
Yeah, he's all the kill spells. I mean, he doesn't even have to matter. Like,
I mean, he has a Tarkus command as well.
he can literally just goes like deal you 3 damage. Oh, it gets counter. Fine, Attack's command. Deal you the 3 damage. It's over.
You can even activate Lavamancer for the remaining points of damage.
I think we have the life totals wrong.
Yep, seems that way. Looks like he's on 6. As far as I can see from the life pad. Or 4.
6.
6.
6 looks more correct there.
And now swinging in for lethal.
Revelry. Take 3 to the face. And swinging in. Can't really deal with any of this, and if he does, he just goes Lava Spike. Game over. Gets 1 blocker.
And gains a life.
And gains up to 7. Well, he lost the 3 now from the Revelry.
Sure,
so
he
he's
goes
on
into
4.
Pings him for 2, and that is game.
And that's all done. Everything goes through. Game over. He just had way too much to do there. He had all the options. He could bait counters. He could literally just do
but
whatever
even
he wanted
besides
to
that,
JP.
JP's lands wouldn't line
yeah,
up well for him.
Yeah,
If
lands.
he had all colors of mana, he would have been fine, I think.
Maybe for another turn.
He'd be okay for a while. He had the Dispel, he could have bought himself at least a turn.
I guess also he like when the Foundry came down, he could get some more blockers going for himself. But yeah, from the beginning, very much unfavored for him.
Yeah, it was a terrible matchup, truth be told.
Yeah, and unfortunately the shortest
match we've had the entire day.
Match for the day.
Also the most one-sided, surprisingly.
Surprisingly, from all the one-sided matches we've seen today, this one was definitely the worst.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess that's it for the day then. We have one more Modern 2K coming up the 26th of Feb. The final then 19th of March.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty locked up. There's still 1 or 2 people that can slip in from the bottom, like somewhere in the top 20, just to push it through. But for the most part, the people that are here today are pretty much the ones that we'll be seeing in the end. And then yes, we'll also be starting the 2K Standard League, and then there's the next Modern League starting again right after.
So will those be running basically week after week, so Standard then Modern?
Yes. We basically have 8 months to do 10 events of each.
No, that's enough time.
We can only hope so.
And it was just like, it's kind of funny how the 2 decks that have gone unbeaten are basically base red in the last this event now, the Modern 2K, and the last Standard PPTQ Kyoto.
Yes. Well, I think there's a lot of tools for them now.
Yeah.
Again, also the combo deck's much slower because of Gitaxian Probe.
I also think a lot of people were trying to be very mid-range to control today and also last week, just to sort of beat the meta that they expected, even though we have no established meta at this point. So everyone's like trying out new things, trying to get the deck sorted for the
Yeah.
2K at this point. Like
Yeah.
only a handful of people are actually trying to really win out today.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I guess we could also have a quick look at who is actually currently our top four and
And we'll
who
do that
should
in a moment.
be. Um, I think yeah, Shad's playing today. He's pretty much locked up for number one going into the final. The top four also getting a first round bye. The format of the event will basically be it's 5 rounds. So 12 of the people will be playing the first round. Top four goes through, and from there another 4 rounds and a cut to top four, and we'll get our champion at the end of a very very long day.
And today, like, so the current top four is Shad May, Hamza Ibrahim, Philip Franken, James Combrink, and from those four, all four of them were playing today.
Hamza didn't do too great. He won one match and now had the bye in the final round.
So well, he only
So he
gets
gets three
2 points,
points.
or
3 points.
3 points.
He
'Cause they-
goes up to 20. Philip had 2 wins and 2 losses, I believe. He beat James now in the previous round.
So he's
Actually, no, he drew with James in the
Drew with James,
previous.
so he's gonna get a half a point.
Half a point up there for both of them. The one before that, James won as well, so they're pretty much on the same points. James still one
So
behind.
2-1-1 basically.
Thomas van Heeren wasn't here today.
And
He's
neither was
currently.
Sinani Fendi at 6th, or Tahir Taladia at 7th.
They're pretty much locked in for the top 16 anyway,
Yeah.
and
Highly unlikely that if they play, they will beat the rest of the top 5, so to say,
yeah.
by any margin, unless they do extremely well and the rest of them either don't show up or don't play.
I think with the way the scoring works for this league specifically is like you really have to be there for every single
Yeah.
one to stay relevant, because it's only 1 point for a win.
Yeah.
You don't get to run away and you get punished for not showing up.
Yep. And so basically, we're pretty much going to see the top 4 stay the top 4. Maybe a couple of people don't show up next one for next month, which is on the
Yeah.
19th of no,
No,
26th of February.
Yes.
My bad. The 19th of March is the final.
And yeah, I think all at the bottom we've got Clinton Casey currently at 14th. He's only played one or two of the events way in the beginning. Brandon Lawrence at 15th also hasn't really been around. Also played two or three. I think we'll see them being pushed down. Morgan Pellis at 20 is here. If he just wins 2 matches today, he
He
goes
should
up to
be in
8th.
top. Yeah.
And that's definitely putting him up onto 14th, then pushing
And
out.
Kairos was also here.
Yeah, Kairos is also
so
here. He's definitely going up. I think he is going to be at least at like 8th place.
And yeah, JP gets 3 wins and he's sitting 30th, so he may end up being somewhere close
Well,
to
if
the
he
top
yeah,
16.
well, he gets 3 points. That gives him 7 points in total after today. Definitely also he gets to be in. I think.
Well,
Just
depends
purely,
on next month,
yeah.
obviously,
Yeah,
but
purely because two of the top
Yeah.
16, like the lower ranks, aren't here. And if he gets here next month, and if he gets here in time, we
he
might
may actually
we
get
might
more wins
see
this
him.
time.
We might see him end up right in smack in the middle, being very safe
Yeah.
and ready for the final.
Cool.
Cool. I think that's it for the day. We can wrap up, and we'll do this again on the 26th.
Yep. See you
Cool.
guys then.